Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another capsule selection. Today, we're going to dive into the house of Xerjoff. Now, Xerjoff is one of my most invested in fragrance houses. It's not only invested in passionate-wise, but invested in monetarily. And I have 10 fragrances from this house. I'm not going to dive into many of the collections, but maybe one or two. I'm going to leave out Casa Morati for sake of the video. But for today, we're going to talk about 10 fragrances in my collection that are, to me, the best of Xerjoff summer fragrances. So if this sounds like the type of content you think you'll enjoy, pull up a seat, pour a glass, and of course, let's enhance. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Dry Down, the lifestyle channel where we as enthusiasts aspire to enhance and elevate our olfactive sensory experiences through the understanding of the different aromas, facets, and nuance of scent, cigars, and wines. I am your host, Chris. Welcome to today's experience. We're, of course, like I stated, we're going to jump into the house of Xerjoff. And Xerjoff is one of the best citrus-based companies out of Italy when they make their perfumes. And in that description, I believe that most of my freshies come from either the aquatic side or the citrus side, like many of you. And Xerjoff has produced quite a bit of my summer fragrances that I thoroughly enjoy and put into many of my capsules and blend series. So I figured I would put this list out for you guys. My personal top 10. If you don't see your favorite here, it's not that it's not a great one. It's just that either I don't have it or there was only a top 10 and these were mine. So we're going to start off with the scent of Kobe or Kobe. They never produced anything. I'm going off the name Kobe. And so what Kobe is one of those citrus fresh fragrances, very spicy, woody, and musky. This has a calling card that is based around a very brilliant Palo Santo rosewood and all the citrus accords that we love to get from the house of Xerjoff. Now mine is a vintage bottle, and what you get from this in particular, outside of the newer bottles that I've tested when I got in some fragrance samples, this one is much more of an orange blossom and petitgrain fragrance than the newer ones. The newer ones come off a little bit more citrusy. This one, it comes off with that very, very green take on petitgrain oil and the orange blossom. Very beautiful, very becoming fragrance, very gentlemanly fragrance. It's not one that you would mistake for being a freshie, so to speak, but it is one that has a lot of citrus and green facets with some woody undertones, some slight sweetness, but very dry woods as well. Once again, that's Kobe or Kobe from the Shooting Stars collection. Great dry scent, earthy, slightly smoky and spicy as well. Profound. Great scent. Next up, what we have on the list is one that just was released in 2021. This is from their collection of 1861 that has Naxos, Renaissance, and Zafiro in it. DECAS is a 10-year anniversary fragrance of that line, and they launched this one as a unisex fragrance, and it comes off quite well. It's very citrusy, calibrian oranges in this one. Very citrusy, slightly resinous, slightly great visionary use of tobacco flower and musk in this one. You get a lot of bourbon vanilla as well as tuberose. And that tuberose is one of the only tuberose in my collection that I've actually sampled, enjoyed, and purchased. The way it comes off is slightly floral in the jasmines, not indolic, but slightly like the Reflection Man jasmine is, if you know about Reflection Man. So this one has a Reflection Man-esque type of white floral nuance, but a lot more citrusy with a lot more sweeter resinous vanilla and benzoin and balsams in it. Once again, that is the number 9 spot. Very nicely done. DECAS 1861 collection, 10-year anniversary. Very, very nicely done. Guys, next up what we have is APOLLONIA. APOLLONIA is one that really crept on me and surprised me for my appetite to wear. I got this in a sample, and once I got it in a sample, I wore it a few times, and really it resonated with me as far as a gentleman scent. Now, this is one fragrance that can be actually put off from either reviewers telling you something and or when you smell it or think about what the notes are. Now, I can't say that those people are wrong in what they smell, but what I can say is I don't often hear them mention the aromatic side of this one or the deep woody side of this one as well. This one here, if you're used to the scent Bois d'Argent by the house of Dior, it has a similar vibe. It has that woody take on white floral aromatic takes. And that meaning that orris root, where it's slightly woody, slightly white floral, powderish, but it comes off masculine and almost silver-like. That is APOLLONIA. Like I said, creamy, fresh, and sweet. It has a lot of backbone to it, a little bit of little bit of a floral iris, like I said, but it comes off slightly versatile in the way you can wear it, because it can be elegant, but it can also be flirtatious and playful. I love wearing this particular scent from its powdery nuances. It's really one done well with the iris accord. And the white florals that come off on this one, I can't dispel or depict what they may be. They put it as a concoction or a bouquet, and I can't really dispel what that is, but I do tell you this: there's something in here that's indolic, which makes it slightly animalic, which makes it lean towards the masculine for me. And I love to wear this particular scent in all occasions. Once again, this is Apollonia at number 8. Next up, guys, we're going to talk about another fragrance from the house of the Xerjoff's 1861 collection. Now, this is another original bottle that I have in my collection. I have plenty of original vintage Xerjoff fragrances, man. I've really invested in this house, like I said. Now, this one here, I did a review on this one a few weeks back and talked about it, so I won't go on about it, but I will tell you that this is one of the best mint fragrances when it comes to any house on the market today. Very well done. Citrus accords, petitgrain, lemon. Has a very nicely done lily of the valley and rose in the mid of this one, which makes it very gentleman fragrance, very interesting, very intriguing, very impactful for a citrus fragrance when it comes to these notes and accords. The musk in this is great. The gray amber is superb. Smooth quality florals in the mid of it, like I said. A slight juicy accord of lemon and Calabrian bergamot bring about a transition to a mandarin in the mid of it for me. Great use of cedar wood. A fantastic mint base fragrance. This is number 7 from the house of Xerjoff from Summer Fragrances. Great scent. Next up, let's talk about the scent Neo. Neo is the fantastically done fresh citrus fragrance that has some green faucets, slightly spicy and woody, but it's very becoming. Oh man, it just opens up so effervescent, so green, so citrus. The calling card for this one is a Tunisian neroli. And if you're into neroli, this is one that you have to get your nose on. This is one clean fragrance. If you wear this in any setting where you want to become the center of attention when it comes to clean smelling fragrances, not anything sexual or sweet, but very clean, partake yourself was very clean. This is the scent for you. Not soapy at all, just very clean and green, with a slight hint of jasmine in this one as well. It's not indolic. It's very becoming of a nice functional floral component to it. The amber in this is just like the last fragrance, superb. You get a nice touch of woody vetiver in this in the base when it dries down. That's the one thing that people touch on late into this fragrance, and they start to become even more interesting smelling because of that vetiver. It's nicely done, like the great vetiver style. You also get a nice bit of guaiac wood in this one as well. It's a nice little woody take on it. Like I said, very fresh, green, spicy, and woody, but really well done with the neroli. This is number 6 on my list of Xerjoff summer fragrances. Next up, number 5. This is number 5, and it is in the top 5 for me. Certainly, even in all takes of Xerjoff, I think number 5 is a great place for this one, not only in the summer fragrances, but for this list and its intention. Number 5, PIKOVAYA DAMA. And PIKOVAYA DAMA is a great, clean, soapy fragrance that has a lot of my favorite smelling Omani incense in it. Some Turkish iris, very nicely done, aldehydic coriander, cedar, nutmeg, musk, ceylon, sandalwood, bourbon, vanilla. Very creamy, floral, fresh, sweet fragrance that has a lot of compassionate feel for you when you wear this. This is one that comes in and is really much so a great scent for Father's Day, stuff like that, when you really want to feel attracted to, but also be like gentlemanly and manly and the one who everyone wants to gravitate towards. That's a great scent to have on, and that is the scent of PIKOVAYA DAMA. Bulgarian roses in the opening, Sicilian lemon, neroli, Bulgarian bergamot, or Calabrian bergamot. Great fragrance. Number 5, PIKOVAYA DAMA. Number 4 on this list is UDEN Overdose. UDEN Overdose is one of my favorite summertime fragrances of all times. It is one that you can see by my bottle and its uses. I run through this fragrance because it has one of my favorite notes of ginger, and the way they did it just is phenomenal way they did it. This ginger and this coffee with this tobacco flower. This fragrance is all about the mid notes, and it does spectacularly on my skin. I love it. I love everything that this does for me when I wear it, in any occasions I wear it in. I very much so have been enthralled with this particular scent. So that tells you that I have a great pleasure for the top 3 if this is what I'm saying about the number 4. Very beautiful scent. Once again, Uden Overdose at number 4 for summer scents from the house of Xerjoff. Number 3 as my top summer list goes. Now this bottle is actually left behind at work. I actually wore it yesterday. I took the bottle with me and forgot to bring it back home. But this here is the actually official sample of Xerjoff's Torino 21. Now Torino 21 is just what you heard about on any blog, any review. It's a very crisp take on Xerjoff's essentially produced summer fragrances. This one here, when I first smelled it, I was thinking, what's the use of me getting this, because it's going to smell just like Renaissance. But it's nothing. It has the lemon and mint from Renaissance, but it has a very, very different take. I would even think with the Black Currant, it was going to come into that realm of spicy, very tart and tangy style of fragrance. But this one here is very mellow, very soft, very sweet, very citrus, very green and aquatic smelling as well. I don't know where the aquatic scent in this comes from, because they don't list anything that will make it aquatic. They do have a thing like rosemary in it or lavender and thyme that make it aromatic, but they list it, and I don't get anything that would just, why am I getting this aquatic taste from it? I don't know, but it's slightly soapy as well. Very well done scent for summertime. This is one excellent fragrance. Torino 21 from the house of Xerjoff at number 3. Next up, number 2. Top 2 is always a plus just to talk about this. Number 4 or number 2 is 40 Knots. And 40 Knots is a part of the Join the Club collection, and it is one of the grandest aquatic fragrances that I have in my collection. And I think many of you would say and think the same exact thing. Very, very well done. Aquatic, woody, sweet, fresh, and spicy style of fragrance. Has a lot of honey in it, woody notes, a lot of sea breeze and seawater notes. The composition is just phenomenally done. I think that all of you guys who had this fragrance or have sampled it have come to the same conclusion. And this is a top 2 fragrance in the summertime for a reason. It's very versatile. It can go anywhere I wanted to wear it throughout the summertime, just like the Overdose can. But this one has a bit of a better overtake of the wood components along with that sea breeze. So all these top 4 fragrances are just phenomenal for me to wear. And this one here is, like I stated, one of my favorite aquatics. Just a very, very well done scent. I don't have any complaints about this particular scent. From profile, longevity, evolution, projection, everything about this I enjoy greatly. And that is 40 Knots. Join the club collection. Last up, guys, number 1 for me as a summertime fragrance from the house of Xerjoff is Uden. Uden for me is in my top 15 to 20 fragrances of all times. It was for a long time in my top 10, and at a particular time in my collection, it was number 1. Just a phenomenal fragrance. This is one hell of a scent. It's impactful, but it's simple the way it's made. It's very much so just everything encapsulating me as a persona in a bottle. It's fresh, it's citrus, sweet, woody, and creamy. Has a lot of facets that I enjoy in every fragrance. It has lemon, grapefruit, rum, rose, garlic, ambergris, coffee. All of these accords just make for one of the best compositions that Xerjoff has put out. And for me, it's going to stay in, I think, for a long time as the number 1 summer fragrance for me. Year after year, time after time, when I even want a dumb reach or a sophisticated reach, it doesn't matter. This fragrance stops at no, when it comes to pulling the stops. It does the trick. Once again, Uden. Number 1, House of Xerjoff, summer fragrances. Ladies, gentlemen, that is my video for you guys today. I hope as always you got something entertaining and educational from this particular video. Today was my top 10 fragrances from the house of Xerjoff and what they represent for me in the summertime. I hope this thing for you was something interesting that you can pull from some of these to either get samples or see where my head lies when wearing these fragrances. I love all these fragrances. I wear them to attention and for my own likability. So with the number 1 fragrance, Uden, and the number 2 fragrance, 40 Knots, I want to hear your opinion on these fragrances, guys. Tell me what you have, what you think is the better or best, and then let me know in the comment section below. Until next time, until next video, I'll talk to you then. Peace.